Hello and good evening. How are you out there in YouTube land? This is your boy Von B and the noob Avenger Elton with the uh UN podcast. Name still not figured out. But did you know that I put like the song that I made on my soundboard? I can like play the whole thing in the background.
Cool.
Yeah. But got to give yourself some love, right?
That's all right.
So, how you doing there, bro?
It's warm.
Yeah, I remember like last summer, like I don't know how it won't be as bad as where I'm at now, but last summer, every time I would try to do like a video and you can't have the air conditioner, all right? So because it makes noise in the background and the fan, be sitting there. I'm trying to make a video and I'm like sweat is dripping down my face. And it's like I guess when you edit it, it'll look like dry face, then wet face, then dry face kind of thing. Because I would stop, wipe the shit off. And but all right, that's enough of that. All right, so today we got some articles talking about the DCU. Uh, are you excited about the upcoming DC universe stuff? Even a little bit?
Yeah.
Well, you got the Green Lantern stuff where they hate the green part. They get the lore wrong. Somebody brought this up, and I kind of agree with them. It's like if you're gonna do an adaptation, why do they keep getting people who do not like the source material? Like
They love to do that.
right, it's like the weirdest things. Like The Witcher started out good. You got Henry Cavill who loves The Witcher, who everyone liked as The Witcher, and you hire a bunch of people who hated The Witcher. So they were trying to make it into a girl boss show. It's like, and then you do that, it falls off, and then it's like, well, how did this happen? I'm like, because the people who liked The Witcher wanted to watch a TV show about The Witcher, and you decided to make it about everything else but The Witcher. And then it's like, well, how did the hell does this happen? Why does this keep happening? I'm like, because you keep doing it. All right. So apparently there was like a meeting between what are two things? There's one like Zack Snyder teased some stuff. And there was a meeting, if I could find it. Okay, here we go. Between like the future head honchos of Warner Brothers, the Ellisons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let me click on the right thing. Will James Gunn become DC's Taylor Sheridan? Like Taylor, you know about Taylor Sheridan, right?
The name sounds familiar.
He wrote like on Paramount, Yellowstone, the Yellowstone 19, whatever. He wrote like all the stuff that people watch on
Okay.
Paramount is written by this one guy. Yeah, and like I think he left or something's going on when he's not there. But he wrote like everything that everyone likes. So I guess they're asking that. Like, is he leaving DC Studios? Is a lingering question. Blah blah blah. Apparently, he failed to show up for the first meeting with his incoming boss. A lot of DC Studios now depends on the answer to this question, which in turn depends on which version of David Ellison that meets James Gunn. Will the ongoing Warner Brothers Discovery Paramount Skydance merger is completed? The formal excuse for Gunn's absence will likely be he was held up in Atlanta filming The Man of Tomorrow. However, it doesn't fully explain his absence from a 45-minute meeting that could determine the fate of one of the biggest comic franchises in the world. James Gunn's contract at DC is set to expire in the spring of 2027, having extended for just a year, and was initially set to end in 2026. So puts him in the same position as TV juggernaut Taylor Sheridan when David Ellison took over Paramount in August 2025. Paramount's acquisition of what blah blah blah. Biggest one man, David Ellison, the Paramount Skyline CEO, had his first meeting with the leadership of Warner Brothers in what is largely seen as a victory lap ahead of his company's $111 billion acquisition of the entertainment giant.
Oh.
Ellison's introductory meeting touched pretty much everyone that matters at the WBD, with 150 senior employees physically present and another 300 attending via video call. DC Studios creative CEO James Gunn's absence was therefore hard to miss, seeing that he was the mind behind one of the company's best performing films in 2025. That's not really saying much compared to the other. It didn't even make the money that the Man of Steel made, and that was considered a mild success. So yeah, it's not even. I guess if you word it in a way where it's like it was technically the best thing that they put out, but that doesn't actually mean that it was a profitable. Okay. While the acquisition won't be completed until September of this year, these two employees are right. It was coming after watching Allison and his team tumultuous entry into Paramount. The merger between Ellison Skydance and Paramount saw more than 2,000 employees laid off. Surprisingly, the job losses at Paramount cut across the board, with senior executive facing the act just as much as junior staff. One surprise exit, however, was Taylor Sheridan, the man behind Yellowstone franchise, which is almost solely responsible for what the hell? 28 million plus subscribers. I mean, 78. Really? It's wow. 78 million people are subscribed to Paramount Plus.
That's a lot.
Right. So maybe I would have thought that there would be like a period in the middle of there, and it's like 7.8. Okay.
That's really a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, I clicked on a link to see what that link was. And it said, yeah, 78.9 subs, and Warner Brothers Discovery had 131.6. Yeah, okay. All right, so okay, so it is basically just going into it talks about sharing, I guess, him whatever issue that they had. It's like so far, what would you do with James Gunn if you were the Ellisons?
What I do?
Yeah, the all the stuff that he has been doing so far is not setting the world on fire.
I know it's more like a whimper.
All right, so do you reboot yet again? Do you leave it as is and just hope for the best, knowing that he is how does it? He is at best a divisive figure who has a tendency to make stuff that he likes. That's like basically like he chose like the Robin that he's supposedly gonna go with is the latest one, not the first one, which he should be going with. And so which really doesn't make any sense, but it's the one that he likes. So you the new owner, you just spent a crap ton of money on this. You know how much money this should be making, but it's not. You already got issues with Star Trek, but you need to fix. So you got all this stuff that you need to kind of take care of. So what do you do with this? What would you do?
That's a good question. I mean, he doesn't have that much left to go, right? You said he's out by next year.
Yeah, 2027. Yeah.
Well, I guess you could do whatever, you know, I guess while you still have some agency,
Mm-hmm.
I guess make the things that you want to make, and then the company can decide like what's best for you moving forward, I guess.
Yeah, but all right. So David Ellison has been in Hollywood for a couple decades now, in terms of his production company, and he's made hits and he's made flops. So it's not like he doesn't have a general idea of what to do. If it was me, I'd be like, look, bro, uh, the most popular version for most of the fans that people love these characters is Batman the animated series, the Justice League cartoons, because nothing that has been put out has gotten more of a bump than those. So it's like, all right, so we need to scrap everything that you talking about doing, because apparently people ain't feeling that your Guardians of the Galaxy version of Superman, but you're gonna add more characters to that. It's like you're doing Brainiac or whatever. It's like, okay, what made these things work, and how do we make them work in a live action setting?
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, serious. And we have the Penguin, which was a hit, which you had not really much to do with. So that was a hit. You already have a Batman coming out. Batman and Superman are basically the same age. They're both like 30 something, right? So you have a young Batman, you have a young Superman, both of which are filling out how to be like what they're eventually going to become. The Batman is angry, which fits the time period of where he is. It's like year two. The so your Superman, which you've shown in the movie you already made, is very earnest. He's a bit naive, I guess, when it comes to things. Hence, the you can go why the other characters didn't really respect him. Which is weird, is for a fact that this dude can knock over a building with his bare hands, and you giving him crap like he just a regular dude. Which to me in the movie was interesting. It's an interesting take. It's like Guy Gardner's like flipping him off and yelling. There's lots of them talking to him. It's like this dude can fly in space, dude. Pick up a car and hit you with it. Like serious. So I would go back to basics. It's like his version of Lex Luthor was fine. The other stuff, like the stuff around it, was not that great. Like them being able to decipher Kryptonian language and programming and all that stuff, which is laughable because Krypton is like thousands of years like more advanced. And I'm looking at it, that's like you picking up Christopher Columbus and dropping him off at like some data center and him being able to hack into the data center and steal information from the US government. Like that wouldn't happen because he would have no idea what he's looking at. And that's the first thing that popped in my head when they did that in the movie. Like, how do you even know what you're looking at?
That's a good point.
But it did. So I'm like, all right, that's stupid. The like they got the clone thing because like in the comics, Superboy and like one of the Superboys in the comic was a clone of. They couldn't figure out all of Superman's DNA. And they kind of did a thing like with the Jurassic Park dinosaurs, how they use other DNA and mix together to get a facsimile of the dinosaurs, kind of thing. So they did that with Superboy. He uh, he doesn't have Superman's powers, but he they gave him telekinesis and what so he can fake it. But eventually the Kryptonian DNA overtakes is started overtaking the human DNA, and his human DNA was Lex Luthor's. So it was half Kal-El and half Lex Luthor, right?
Oh,
Right.
he's like an amalgamation.
Right. Because they couldn't figure out like Superman doesn't have human DNA. So they couldn't figure out all of it out. And the only reason that the where they got the blood from is when he was killed by Doomsday. So that's where they got his blood from. So it would have been the exact same thing. It's like you would have been able to understand certain aspects of it because they use a different type of architecture to for their computing system. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like you would understand certain things, but not everything. So to have this guy being able to figure it out is laughable. But you know, how this stuff works. So yeah, I would do the exact same thing. You remember the discussion we had about Star Wars? I would do the exact same thing with this. It's like, all right, we're this is not, everybody's not feeling it. So we're gonna not necessarily blank slate because Corn Sweat he was a fine Superman. I mean, yeah, he was fine Superman. And depending on how they do Supergirl, she has a lot of angst. So I don't know how well that's going to work or not. So if that works enough where it doesn't irritate too many people, then you go, okay, we can stick with these two. We can kind of forget about this and forget about that and the Suicide Squad and all that other stuff James Gunn wanted to do. We're gonna do hopeful type stuff because that's the thing about like David Ellison is he likes the supposedly he likes the how they used to do movies like more not macho but like masculine movies.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he likes those kind of like he seems to like those kind of stuff. So that's most of the stuff that his company has produced from the Star Trek movies. So he did those, the Mission Impossibles, those kind of stuff. Where it's a guy who's saving the world kind of thing. So Superman and Batman can work in that. And you already have a Batman. You already have a Superman. Just kind of figure out how to go from there. And then you can look for a Wonder Woman. Don't you don't she's a goddess, so you don't have to worry about the girl boss stuff because she can do the things anyway. She's almost as strong as Superman. But we don't need I think they were gonna do like a Themyscira thing where it was gonna be just the women on that island.
Mm.
Yeah. It sounds about as interesting as you would think. Like nobody's gonna watch this. So yeah, so I would basically tell them that it's like, look, bro, um, we're not doing just stuff that you like. It's like we didn't spend all this money to get this stuff for you to just make crap that you like. Cause that don't fit into the money making stuff. So yeah, like if you can do a clean slate and we can basically start over without rebooting, then you can stick around. If you can't do that, bye bye.
It's kind of hard too.
Well, dude, they can't. Oh, and there's another thing. That while all this is going on, yeah, it's the other article that I saw. Zack Snyder is teasing about his stuff. All right. What comes next in the new Justice League post is March 18th. Near, I don't know what March 18th is about. It's still counting down to the 5-year anniversary of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and his latest post again has fans thinking something could be coming March 18th. This time, Snyder shared a 6-image collage featuring core Justice League heroes and wrote, "A moment of myth. Each member of the Justice League facing the burden of responsibility with honor. Captured in 1 by 43 or 1.43 by 1, they stand like figures in a myth looking toward what comes next. So I'm assuming that this is the Flash. I don't know how to make it out, but I think this is the Flash. Post puts the full team back in the spotlight with each image showing hero alone, framed by in a way that Snyder says makes them feel like mythic figures. It fits with how Snyder has always described the DC heroes. He has long presented Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash as larger than life characters carrying enormous weight. The wording of the caption makes it clear he still sees the Justice League through the same lens. So I don't know, dude. He's probably content like being Lobo. He's crazy, so they're not gonna do him. Harry Cavill is doing a bunch of stuff right now. I think Ben Affleck is done as Batman.
Oh, yeah, I think he's done.
He kind of pissed off enough people where he's probably done. And Snow White didn't help her at all. So I don't know what this is about. So you got that at the same time of trying to figure out what James Gunn, and then now you got James Gunn not showing up to the meet the new boss meeting when he could have like 300 people video conference, so he could have did that.
Just what they needed.
Right. So you can't tell me that he's too busy. Really? Too busy to meet the guy who is can fire him.
Exactly.
Like I don't necessarily like just because you're under contract, that don't necessarily mean you can do anything. Like that you need to be doing anything. Because this is what they did to the older animators at Disney, right? So they didn't fire them. What they did was they gave them a bunch of BS stuff to do till they quit. So, like, I don't have to fire you, but I can make you want to quit without actually harassing you. I just give you nothing to do. So you're just sitting there thinking you're wasting your time and that kind of stuff. And you get the picture and you eventually move on. So you can do the exact same thing. It's like, all right, we're going to just pay you to go sit at home. And when your contract is up, we're not going to renew it.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Right. So if that is the case, and if you want to continue doing this, it would behoove you to at least, dude, you can video conference from anywhere. You can video conference standing there holding your cell phone. So the fact that you didn't show up to this thing is kind of like, okay, that's interesting. So I don't know. All right. What you want to talk about next? The Xbox Copilot thing, FireFly cartoon, them changing the voices of the Airbender movie, or you got something else that you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Xbox and Copilot.
What? Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm okay with Copilot at times.
You're on your own with that one, bro. All right. Microsoft adding gaming Copilot to Xbox Series S and X as part of an AI push that the CEO of Microsoft has a bug up his butt about. Microsoft confirmed Copilot for those systems. Microsoft, like many other companies, has recently gone all in on AI. For Microsoft, Copilot integration across the software suite and product stack has been a massive priority. Yeah, and it's not going over very well. And it seems that it's continuing the case in the upcoming years At GDC 2026, the game engine confirmed that Copilot is not set to make his debut on Xbox consoles soon. Uh, According to the reports from the GDC, Microsoft excited about the prospect of bringing AI to current gen Xbox consoles by the end of 2026. For context, the gaming Copilot is not entirely new for those already part of the Microsoft gaming ecosystem. The AI assistant currently available across PC, mobile, and even ROG Xbox Alley. Currently, the AI assistant is best used as a guide when looking for answer queries regarding to various games. It is also worth noting that the gaming Copilot can be used without exiting a game, which makes it useful in such scenarios. Elsewhere, the system can be used for recommendations for specific games based on player interest and gameplay history. I have seen something similar that they're doing on phones, where you're in a bookstore and the AI can recommend a book for you to read based on I don't know, I guess the amount of books the types of books you have or whatever. And I'm like, where's the fun in that? What used to be fun for me was going into the bookstore, looking at the cover art, pull the book out, look at the cover art, flip it over, look at the little blurb about what the book's about. And based on the publisher, and this is what I used to go on, is based on the publisher, I will give it a chance. Because you buying a paperback, what, $7, $8, maybe 10. It doesn't cost that much. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I prefer that than some AI thing telling me, "Oh, you should try this." Just because I like another, because what it reminds me of, you know how YouTube works now? How you watch one damn video and then you get a crap ton of similar crap, regardless of the fact that maybe you just happened to look at that because the title was interesting, but you didn't necessarily like the video.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me
Right.
a
So,
lot of times.
right. So I can imagine that an AI recommending books to you would be the same because it doesn't actually know you. Just because I looked at something, that don't necessarily mean I like it. So just like with the stuff for YouTube, and you just gotta watch a bunch of other crap to is like to exercise this stuff out of your algorithm. It's like so uh, with gaming Copilot set to debut on next like testing AI assistant before fully incorporated into next generation Project Helix. This console is the final stages of development, blah blah blah. So we gotta be no comments. I don't like that because the whole point of the games is figuring stuff out. Yes, they have been gaming companions, and every now and then you need to find how to do certain things when the game doesn't explain how to find, like, you need a certain herb or something in a game and you can't figure out where it's at because the game doesn't give you quite enough information to figure it out, or you missed it, like you missed the little clue. But what they're doing now is they're going overboard with the assistance in these games. Because, like, I know you don't play like that much. So
Mhm.
the way it used to work is like, you get a map and you got to figure out where you go, right? Now they'll paint like the entire thing where you need to go. It'll be yellow. So it's like, for something like, if you need to climb this cliff, the cliff will be like yellowish. So it's like a visual indicator where it just basically holds your hand and tells you where to go.
Yeah, right.
And they're doing that more and more in a lot in most games. All right. In an effort to be inclusive, but you, you're dumbing down the game to the point where which is weird is like if you play a game that doesn't do that, it feels weird because you've gotten so used to them holding your hand. It feels weird at first. You like it afterwards because it doesn't do that, and it's like it's like the Zelda games don't do that. Like you need to figure out what's going on and where to go using the map, and you got to figure out kind of like how stuff used to be. Even though the games would tend to be somewhat linear, but it's still
There's no like checkpoints where it's like, oh, go from A to B.
right. So
And here's a giant flashing indicator on where to go next.
right, and they're making the games worse. I know they don't see it that way, and it's the whole inclusive thing. There are plenty of people who have challenges who hate that stuff too.
That's true. That's true.
That's the whole challenge of figuring out. It's like you get better at it. So you have all these people who are so used to this kind of stuff where when a game comes out that's really popular, they get upset because they can't experience the game because you have to get good to get past certain points. So it's like Elder Scrolls, stuff like that. There's not really hand holding. So yeah, I don't because this is just like the whole slippery slope thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they got a bunch of people who like watching people play. So what happens when we get to the point when the AI is just playing a game for you and you just watching?
Well, that's not fun. That's not even a game anymore.
Right, but the amount of dude, there are a lot of people who actually do that. So they can say, "Well, I beat this game too." I'm like, "No, no, you didn't." It's like how they get these games get to I don't think they can handle how games were say in the Super Nintendo, like that era with like Ninja Gaiden and things like that where you just didn't beat it.
I never
Seriously.
beat Zelda 2.
Right. You just didn't beat it. And is no problem with that. I had an uncle who when I was a kid, I had a Atari 5200. And he used to sit like on his days off, he would sit and play Pac-Man. And he got to like a ridiculous amount of like once you get past a certain point, you start getting keys. You get like this laundry list of keys or whatever, right? Essentially, you get to the point where when you know how Pac-Man works, you beat the power pellet and the ghosts turn into like and they run away from you.
Hmm.
There's once you get higher up, the power pellet lasts for like 10 seconds. Like you eat it and they run away from you for like a 10 seconds and then and it's like real quick. It's like they follow you real quick. So you got to be really good. I couldn't get to that point at all. And it never bothered me that I couldn't. You people who could, he's like you give them props, and that was it.
They're just built diff.
Pretty much, dude. And it's like I was not like I suck at fighting games. I don't know what it is. I like right now. I could probably blame it on my crap reflexes, but that was not an excuse when I was a teenager. I just couldn't play them. They look cool. It's just something about the way I play games that I just can't. The move sets. I don't remember the move sets enough to be that good at it. Didn't bother me in the slightest. Mm. All right. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the the direction we're headed into with all this AI stuff. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna talk about they're making. Did you ever watch the last Airbender with Aang and all that?
The series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so they are making a movie about them as. Okay. So this is like a picture of them older. So they look like maybe 19 in their teens, like late teens, early 20s. Essentially, like when Korra came out, I think myself and like most people like the parts when they showed them as adults. I didn't like Korra. She was annoying. The whole and don't even get me started about how the series started, and it did this a lot. The series started out with her having feelings for one of the male dudes, and it ends with her in a relationship with some chick with nothing in the middle to indicate when this switch happened. It's just that they just up and decided that they're gay. Like, what? Like, when did that, like, kind of like Willow on Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Her boyfriend breaks up with her,
And
and
then she
then
suddenly
she suddenly, not only is she suddenly gay, everyone acts like she's always been gay. It's like, what do you
Oh, right, yeah.
like? No, like, I get you want to add a gay character, fine, but just add a gay character. Why are you changing one of the characters who was clearly straight? Where you had a whole storyline where she and Xander was having like back and forth about will they, won't they, while they're dating two other people in two different heterosexual relationships, and then that same person who she was gonna have an affair with is acting like she's always been gay. I'm like, dude. So, amongst many reasons, I did not like Cora because yeah, and the main one is that she was an annoying
I
character.
like that first series too.
Yeah, I think most people do.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is they're making a Last Airbender, and this shows you how crazy this shit is. They're making a Last Airbender fighting game. All right. So all the characters that they've shown so far are all the OG first series people. And then there's Korra. So it's Korra by herself, and then everybody else is from friggin' the first series, right?
It's like Star Wars.
Right. Aang is only airbending. Even though he's the avatar, he's only airbending, while Korra is doing all the everybody else, all the different other styles. So it's what is this? So so you knew that most of the people who would buy this game will buy it for the first group. And it, like, if you just had, fine, if you stuck Korra in there, fine. Either have both of them being able to use all the different bending techniques, or just the one that they started with. Don't have the clearly more popular character just do one that hit the one he started with, and have the one that you're pushing be more powerful.
That's a good point.
So this is why this stuff keeps failing, is because they cannot help themselves with this crap. All right, so Avatar has been widely considered one of the most iconic and well-crafted TV shows of all time. Yes. Another beloved gang is officially coming back with a brand new animated feature film. While fans are thrilled to return of the Four Nations, and many are still cautious after the few missteps previous live action adaptations. This time, however, hopes are high. But not everything is staying the same. Casting director Jenny Ju recently revealed that some of the original voice actors will not be reprising their roles in the upcoming film. Here's why. Paramount has officially announced that the title of upcoming feature film is now called The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender. As per Variety, this reveal at CinemaCon in the studio shared at release date. The movie will take place years after the events of the original 2005 animated series. While plot details are still being kept secret, the film is expected to follow an older Aang as he continues his journey in a world that's healing after war. It's especially thrilling for fans as they've long dreamed of seeing Aang truly embrace his role as the world's savior with Zuko and gang by his side. Fans can also look forward to hearing some big names in the voice cast. Dave Batista, Stephen Yeun, and Eric Nam will be lending their voices to key characters in the film. The movie is being co-directed by Lauren Montgomery and William Mata, who are known for their artwork on other successful animated projects. After a lot of heartbreak with previous live action adaptations, many of our fans are hoping this new animated film will bring back the magic and charm of the original series. Okay, why the Legend of Aang Last Ending will replace some of the OG voice actors. As fans get excited about the upcoming animated movie, one big change has caught their attention, and that is some of the original voice actors won't be returning for the new film. The reason behind this change is a growing focus on matching the voice actors with characters from similar ethnic or cultural backgrounds. Even though the show takes place in a fictional world, each of the four nations in its own unique cultural influence. Casting director Jenny Drew explained that on the Reddit Ask Me Anything, which she did recently. She said, I told Mike and Brian that I understood how important it was to get this right for them and for the fans because I'm a fan too. Since the original show was released, there's been more emphasis on VO to match the actors, not by the people who actually watch the damn shit. This is all internal people who live in Los Angeles type bullshit. So don't talk. Why do they always talk like it's the fan base that's asking for this shit?
On behalf of them.
Right. That's not. That is a handful of people who have decided that Phil Lamar, who was on in Mad TV, is a small black guy. He voiced many characters, one of which is a fucking Martian. So are you gonna go look for a Martian to play the Martian Manhunter? He just played white guys. Samurai Jack, Japanese dude. So if you make a new Samurai Jack movie, you won't get the guy who everybody's voice they will recognize because you got to go get a Japanese guy to play. So then nobody would recognize the fucking voice. Or if
Good luck.
or because you want him so then he has to pretend to sound like the dude who so he has to so you get a Japanese dude to pretend to sound like the black guy who was being a Japanese guy. This is insane. They get rid of the white dude who's playing Cleveland on Family Guy to get a black dude to pretend to sound like the fucking white guy who was pretending to be a black guy. Please make that make any sense.
You know what? That's actually yeah, you put it right though.
The fact that like I understand how important it was to get this right for them and the fans. The fans' issues with all the live action stuff is because they keep changing shit. So then you say this as you're changing shit.
Yeah, I think because, from those live action movies, I got like a lot of backlash
Yeah.
for like race swapping the characters, but I don't think that was the problem. I just think the movies were terrible.
Well, it was bad. Like if it was a good movie, then people can look past that stuff. Even though it was odd that the first one you decided to make the Fire Nation Indian. They're clearly Japanese. Their names sound Japanese. They look like Japanese people. The architecture is Japanese. You decide to make them Indian for some damn reason. Fine. If the movie was good, people will overlook that. Because at least you was consistent in everybody being fucking Indian. But it was not good. So one added thing to add to the pile. Right now, I just saw an article or saw a thing, somebody talking about the localizers in America trying to get fans of anime in America because the Japanese people are getting sick and tired of the localizers in America, the ones who are very left leaning, changing the dialogue to add a bunch of shit in anime that's not there.
Oh,
So the Japanese people who are making these things are getting pissed off that they do this because one, they didn't know they were doing this. Then all of a sudden they're getting on a bunch of freaking emails and all kind of stuff getting from angry people asking why they've added these things to these shows. And they're like, what are you talking about? We didn't add nothing. And then so they're starting to use AI. Some of the voice actors are trying to get their fan base to pressure the anime studios to kind of force them to continue to use them. You're being fired because you're not doing your job. Your job is to basically take the stuff from Japan, make it so that it makes sense in English. That's it. Don't add weird relationship shit or
change dialogue and meaning.
dialogue and meaning and all of that. They're not asking you to do that. You took it upon yourself to do that. Now you're being fired because they didn't find out that you're doing that. So instead of going, well, maybe we shouldn't have did that, you want to double down and try to force them to let you do that. It's like this, and then there's like another thing I saw where people are it's some anime where people are, you know how they do that pairing. They just take this character and this character and they pair them together, and they have this whole fucking fantasy in their head about how they're into this deep relationship, and then they get all pissed off when the people who actually made the thing don't put that in the show. But like,
Oh, when they like ship the couples.
right, they do
Yeah.
that, or they say someone if a character is a tomboy, so as a girl who's a tomboy, and I hate to break it to these people, most tomboys like from the 80s and 90s and maybe the early 2000s still like boys. They just like football too. They weren't gay.
Right,
Now
yeah. They're just like,
they just
boyish, or they like, yeah, it's like sports and stuff,
they
or
like sports.
football, yeah.
That's it. They still like the football team. The captain of the football team. They still thought he was cute. They weren't trying to be him. They wanted to have sex with him at some point, but they weren't trying to be him. But now all of a sudden, all tomboys or somehow that was an interesting tangent. She further stated the ATLA is a fictional world, but there are cultural influences for each nation kingdom. We wanted to explore the talent of those groups. What failed about other stuff and what people don't like about the shit on Netflix and everything else is because they're changing stuff. So you're trying to justify you're changing stuff, so you do the exact same thing about the other people that fucking failed. So we don't get the guy who originally played Aang. We don't get the original Kataga. We don't get Donnie Basco as Zuko. So he's not going to sound like fucking Zuko.
That was a good voiceover too.
Right. Unless we get like I said before, we get another fucking person who's trying to pretend to be the dude. So what's the point? So all the people who like that, their voices became iconic and are a big part of what made the original series so special. And the other problem with them casting like established stars as in voice acting, there's an actual talent to voice acting. Like the people who do voiceovers and like voice acting, they get emotion on that through their voice. Actors don't know how to do that. Actors are like they emote with their face and their body. You can't really do that by talking. So a lot of them don't really know how to do that. So it comes across as flat.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw somebody else talking about this, but it's
Yeah,
like,
that's very well said.
yeah, that's what I was saying. And the reason why I feel Lamar worked and he was in so much stuff is because he knew how to do that. All right. So you know the God of War video game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there are two voice actors who've played Kratos. There's the TC Carson who did the original Kratos, and then you got I can't remember his name, who did the latest one, right? Part of the reason why they didn't go with TC Carson to do the latest one and they patrol somebody else, Kratos is in a different place in his life at this point. TC was very good at doing angry, fuck the world Kratos. All right. The second version of Kratos, he is living with the remorse of what he did. Because he basically destroyed Greece. And he went over here, this other place, and he's been living with this remorse for thousands of years. Right. Eventually meets someone, they have a kid, that kind of thing. And then now his kid is having issues because of his god blood type stuff, right? So he's really guilty about that shit. So it doesn't really, like, the voice acting doesn't really match. So if you want to change for that reason, that's fine. I don't think that is going to be the case in this. I think they just is some stupid DEI nonsense. While the fans will always have a soft spot for the original cast, there's also a lot of excitement about the new voices. I seriously doubt that. Many, again, how they phrase these things. Many is not all. Many is not half. Many is not even a third. Many is more than a little, but that doesn't equate to the majority. Because if it was the majority, you would say that. So many is not a small amount. It's also not a large amount. Many people like liver. Most people probably don't. You get the difference?
Yeah, good point.
The new cast will bring something fresh to these beloved characters while staying true to the spirit of the originals. How? They couldn't replicate. Was it? You remember? I remember somebody talking about this. The Ghostbusters, like they keep trying to make new Ghostbusters, but the original writers and the same cast could not replicate the original Ghostbusters in the second Ghostbusters. Sometimes things hit because everything is just working. And it's hard to get like lightning in a bottle type of thing. So it's just, I am as much as I was looking forward to that, I knew that it was impossible. They just could not do it. And it was going to be some reason why they couldn't do it. And it was going to some stupid DEI reason, excuse me, why they couldn't do it.
I hope they could make it good. I mean, probably at this point, it'll probably still be better than what came out, the live action, what came out before it.
Oh, dude, the one on Netflix right now, Toph is supposed to be 12 years old. She looks like she's 20.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she looks like a freaking tiny adult. That's what she looks like. Like, Toph is like the youngest of them, so she looks like the youngest of them. But this one doesn't look that young. So I'm not. I can't even say that I'm disappointed because I'm not exactly shocked. So, you'd have to be shocked to be disappointed at some change, and I'm not. Which is funny is Dante Brown. He's Filipino, so it's like he's a white dude, and you're changing him. It's like that's bad enough. So what happened to the whole? We got to make sure that the people of color continue to work. I guess that don't count. So yeah, all that just telling me is that you're gonna have a bunch of people who don't sound like what the character's supposed to sound like. So all right. It's kind of like did you ever watch the Boondocks?
Yeah, oh yeah.
They were trying to do a new Boondocks. Uh, even after John Witherspoon died. And it's like they was gonna try to go ahead with that. And what's funny is his son does a spot on like rendition of his father. Like it sounds exactly like him. And he didn't get the job. They got somebody else to do they was gonna hire somebody else to do the job. So like the one person who's also a comedian, um, who knows his father the best and wouldn't and knows exactly how his father used to do this part. Yeah, they weren't gonna hire him. So I'm glad that didn't go through because part of the that's another thing that the time period when that came out, the stuff that they got away with talking about in that show, they can't do now. Right? Uncle Ruckus, you do Uncle Ruckus, even if everyone in it is a satirical is a everyone in it is a satirical stereotype. Like all the characters. They're all black stereotypes. They even have white stereotypes from them hiring Samuel Jackson and Charlie Murphy to play two white dudes who are basically they're the wiggers. So Samuel Jackson plays a wigger. So he's a white dude who sounds like Samuel Jackson
Hmm.
with a kind of racist grandfather. It's like Ed like owned almost everything. So like there's so much stuff in that show that yeah, you probably couldn't do now. Do it's just like somebody like one of like I was playing music at work, right? So one of the ladies at work, she was like, because I was playing 90s music, she's like, I missed the 90s. She said she missed the 90s. Like, yeah, they it's like they can't all that stuff is of its time and we're I don't know if we're not too far gone, but we're the generations that are the people who buy stuff are maybe too far gone to actually get especially with like the reception for Scary Movie 6 with the they them joke
Oh, mhm.
and how people lost their ever loving mind about it. Like in terms of the humor of the 90s and before that, that's super tame. The hell what in Airplane, the black dude spoke in jive. And they had to get a
I think
white
I
lady.
remember that.
Yeah, they had to get a white lady who like this, and they like they was saying that they was dude was saying he was sick, and she couldn't understand him. So she turns around and says, "Hey, does anybody here speak jive?" And this old white lady comes up, and she talks to these two black dudes in jive talk, like it's a completely different language. There is no possible way you could actually do that joke.
Oh, no, you can't.
Oh, the amount of liberal white people who would lose their ever living mind over this, like with the Tropic Thunder. Black people love
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's not even
everyone
that old, but even a movie like that can't be made anymore.
no, and the people who like black people loved it because it was funny. And and Ben Stiller, who is about as left as you can get, what was smart about him doing, he put a black dude to poke a hole in this dude the entire movie because it's a satire. So I don't think they maybe they don't understand how satires work. Don't know. So, you got anything else that you want to chit chat about? Because we had about an hour, so
That was a fast hour. None that I could think of.
yeah. Oh, there is one thing. I've been watching Monarch, right? And there was this guy who made like a video talking about how there's not enough, like he was complaining about like modern TV shows. One of the things he brought up was Monarch and about how there's too much emphasis on the human drama in a monster movie, like a monster TV show, and not enough monsters. And so I'm like listening to it. I'm like, bro, uh, even the 1950s, 1960s Godzilla was had a lot to do with the people.
The people, yeah.
Yeah, in the 60s. Yeah, it was. They had like the military guys, the professor guy. Yeah, it was about that. The Godzilla Zero, that one was about a failed suicide bomber pilot and him picking up the pieces from his failure as dad and then having to deal with the devastation of Hiroshima and dealing with this giant friggin' lizard running around. It was all about the people. Not and Godzilla was in the background. So I don't know what this dude was talking about. Could you watch an entire movie of monsters just fighting each other? Be no dialogue. They just be yelling at her for an hour and a half. Now, if you can pull it off, it will be amazing. I seriously doubt most people can. So I don't know. That's my little added little thing. All right, so all right, so on that note, please like, share, and subscribe. Anybody who checks us out after the fact, that to all the folks on YouTube and Rumble and whatnot. So I would like to thank you, and I guess we're out.